Alright, as you can see, I'm not in my workshop. I've decided to do, or try and do, a little restoration project. I've got this little oil can. Can't even remember where I got it from. I think I might have got it off an old neighbour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and brighten it up a little bit. I've just had a quick look over it and it actually doesn't look like it's in that bad condition. I'm kind of betting that once I've cleaned it, I'll be debating whether it's actually worth spending the time on it, doing it or not, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to get it cleaned up and see where we go from there. Right, so as you can see, I've got it taken apart. It come apart really easy. It was just simply a case of taking the lid and handle and spout away from there, and basically that pin which went through the lid into the handle which operated all the pumping side of it, that come out. This unscrewed from there, this spring slid out of there, and that's pretty much it. It was so simple to take apart. So for the internal parts like this and the springs and that connecting rod, I'm not even going to touch them because they're all in really good nick. So I'm going to put them safe and just work on the metal really. So the next step is to get it in the sink. Yeah, I'm a kid. And get it cleaned up. So I've got the tap running in obviously, and just a little bit of regular washing up liquid I think. So I'm told that works a treat apparently. I hope my missus doesn't see this, she'll be expecting me to wash the pots. So I'm going to let that fill up a bit. I'm going to chuck the parts in. Sorry, stupid video. Focus. There we go. So I've got the parts in there. I'm going to let them fill up, let them soak, and see what we've got. Right, so these are basically the parts I'm going to be working on. As you can see, they're not in that bad a condition. I think mostly it's just cosmetic paint. There's no real dents in it, in the can or anything, or even in the handle or whatever. One thing I did notice while cleaning it up, excuse me, is where it says 1965. I'm not sure if that's a model number, a product number, or simply the year. It'd be nice if it was the year, because it means it's getting on a little bit. And if that is the year, the age of it, it's stood the test of time. So that's the oil reservoir. The trigger, again, is in really good condition. Not bent, not dented. Just paint, cosmetic, really. And then the main handle, same thing, just cosmetic. Focus. Well, you get it. So what I plan to do next is get some paint stripper to it and get all the old paint off. Right, so as you can see, the paint strip has done quite a good job. However, there are still a couple of bits that need taking off, and obviously I've got to do all that handle because I had to have something to hold. The actual pump lever has come up absolutely spot on. So what I'm going to do off camera is touch it up again, get rid of these little bits and finish that handle off, and then we'll be ready for primer. Come up really well, I'm really pleased with that. Right, all the bits have come up quite lovely actually. There's the pump lever, the can itself. As you can see, there are a few faint marks of the red, but I'm not too worried about that. I ain't bothered at all. I'm sure between a couple of coats of primer and paint that it will be fine. The handle itself, there are a lot of really stubborn bits on it, so I'll give that another coat and let that soak a bit longer. One thing I decided to do actually was with the main bottle of the pump is I'm going to leave the bottom as it is. I just believe that I feel that I should leave a little bit of the originality to it. So what I'm going to end up doing is masking that bit off before I prime and spray it. Well, that's where we are up to now. I'm going to leave this in soak for a while, in the paint stripper, and hopefully more of that will come off, because some of them are quite thick, and because it is partially melted off, it's a bit bumpy. So I think worst case scenario, I'll get off what I can, and then if there's anything still bumpy on it, I'll give it a rub down with a little bit of fine sandpaper. Right, I've got all the bits cleaned up as best I can. This handle, you might be able to see that there's still some red or orange left on it, but in all honesty, I ain't so worried about that. It feels really smooth, so I'm not that bothered at all. And I've just seen a marking that I didn't know was there. Hang on, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, because with my eyes I can barely see it. Hang on. I don't know, what's it say? Does it say something like Wesso or something like that? Does anybody know, please? I think it says Wesso in like an oval. Anyway, getting back on track. A couple of little areas to mask up, not a lot. The tip is going to get a little bit of masking tape around the threads. I'll have to bung that up, I'm sure. And one other thing I'm going to do that I forgot to mention to you earlier is I never removed all the old paint on purpose from the bottom. I'm actually going to leave that. I don't know, I just really want to leave a bit of the original paint on it, and it's on the bottom, so it won't really be seen so much. So I'm going to crack on and get all these bits masked off. Right, I'm not entirely sure if this is going to work out too well. This is the best I can do, I'm afraid. Limited space, etc, etc. Right, I've got the primer done, so now it's time to apply a bit of colour. For those of you who were looking at this post on Facebook and Instagram, whoever said red were quite right. Anyway, I'm going to give this a bash and hope for the best. I'm a little bit nervous. The primer's gone okay, so I'm hoping and praying that this red does so. Again, I'm just doing light coats. From what I've seen, I think I've learnt that that's the best way to do it and build it up. God, it does stink. Right, that's the first coat on the main oil tank, I guess. So let's have a stab at the other bits. Right, I'll apologise in advance if the video working great, but I'm trying to film and spray at the same time. Sorry, I can't do both. Okay, you've got the general idea of it anyway, so I'm going to put the camera down and just try and get it sorted out. Right, so that's the first coat on all the bits. I've not been able to do it quite as evenly as I'd like to. It's heavier in some spots than others, but I don't know. I'll just let it dry and I'll come back and give it another coat. See how we end up. Right, okay, it's actually been a few days since I've been out here due to work and what have you, so I know this first coat of red paint is nice and dry. I'm going to give it a quick flash over again and see how we get on. Right, this bit's tricky. Oh, I didn't think about that so good. Anyway, I'll leave it sat like that. Well, that's about as good as it's going to get, bugger me. Anyway, I think That's the second coat on all the bits, so I'm going to leave them to dry. It's probably going to take a while for them to dry because it is really cold in the workshop today. I woke up this morning, looked out the window to see it all frosted over. But I'll leave them to dry and see how we get on. Right, so I finally got it finished painted. I actually did 3 coats of paint on this because I think I might have been a little bit conservative when it come to how thick the laser paint was. I really did do light coats, but I'd heard that the lighter coat you do, the better the finish. So I've got it done. I think it's alright. Seems a little bit patchy to me, I don't know, and I don't know what them vertical lines are. I don't know what's caused that, but it's done. I've got the little mechanism back together, all working very nicely. So it's just a case of whipping the bits of tape off and putting the lid back on. Well, it seems I did a decent masking job on that bit. So look at the bottom. Yeah, that's good enough for me. As I say, I was going to leave the bottom its original colour. Admittedly, on camera it looks very similar, but to the eye it is quite different. This is more orangey and this is a red. And then just the tip of the spout. Again, I've managed to keep that nice and clean. So that's about it really. Don't tell my missus. Right, so there you have it. My first completed restoration project. I'm actually really quite happy how that's turned out. Admittedly, it wasn't the most difficult of project to do, but I thought a good starting project. Anyway, this video's gone on long enough. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.